He's turned out to be sort of one of the good guys in commodities reform over the last year. He's had sort of a come-to-Jesus moment. But there are a lot of Goldman people in the government. There always have been.
And what is the role of Larry Summers in this?
Well, Larry Summers is the principal economic advisor to Barack Obama, so he has an important role in all of this. He has. I'm not exactly sure what his relationship to Goldman Sachs is, but he and Rubin, he was an aide to Rubin back in before he was the Treasury Secretary under Clinton. So it's all the same camp of Rubinites who are really the.
And your story last year talked not only about the past bubbles that speculative bubbles that Goldman's been involved in, but the future ones too. You talk about carbon trading and Goldman's role in what has become a major pillar of the Obama administration's efforts to deal with climate change.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Goldman Sachs is heavily invested in businesses involving carbon credits, and if the carbon credit thing is basically just a tax on pollution, but instead of doing it as a straight tax, they're going to create this new commodities market, and they're just going to basically outsource this tax collection to a brand new commodities market, and Goldman is probably going to be at the forefront of the companies that are going to be trading in these credits. So they're going to stand to make an enormous amount of money off the creation of this new market.
Finally, Matt Taibbi, before you go, Congress passing a major overhaul of finance rules. Senator Feingold standing alone among the Democrats and voting against this. The significance of this.
Well, it's a sweeping bill, but the major parts of it have been severely watered down. The two major pillars of this bill were something called the Volcker Rule, and then there was another part in there that was forwarded by Blanche Lincoln of Arkansas that would have forced companies like Goldman to spin off their derivatives desk, which is directly relevant to the story we're talking about today. But that Lincoln Rule has been severely watered down, and it was really only about 5% of the derivatives desks are they're going to be forced to spin off only a small portion of those derivatives desks now. So that was also seen as a triumph by Wall Street yesterday, and that's another reason why the market lurched a little bit higher.
Feingold saying Washington once again caved to Wall Street on key issues and produced a bill that fails to protect the American people from the pain of another economic disaster. Earlier, he had said he doesn't need to be lectured to, clearly referring to the Obama administration, by the people who got rid of Glass-Steagall.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, the bill again. It doesn't address the major problems that caused the financial crisis. There was an effort in there to curb proprietary trading, but that measure has been severely weakened. There was an effort to curb the speculation in the derivatives markets and some of the abuses we've seen there, which include this thing with the Paulson business. That was severely weakened. Too big to fail. That whole question really fell by the wayside. Although there is a measure in there to address that problem. It's not nearly as strong as the one that was proposed by Sherrod Brown and Carl Levin, which would have mandated the breakup of companies that got too big. That measure was severely weakened. So I think Wall Street thinks they've really dodged a bullet with the passage of this bill yesterday.
Well, Matt Taibbi, I want to thank you very much for being with us. Political reporter for Rolling Stone, wrote the piece on Goldman Sachs called The Great American Bubble Machine, and we'll link to it at democracynow.org. This is Democracy Now! We'll be back in a minute.